Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Devil's Den, and we are back for our first video of the new year. I know that I have been gone for about a week and a half, 2 weeks since I last made our last video, but I am back. I know that I've missed, like I said, a couple of games. However, I kind of made a deal with myself that I wasn't going to be making videos kind of during the holiday season. I wanted to take a little bit of a break, spend time with the family, enjoy the holidays. I got to do that, but this time we are back, and they just had to make it close, didn't they? They had to make it close. New Jersey loses 4-3 in overtime to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and tonight was kind of a big deal. Big game, big opportunity to steal 2 points. We had the Islanders playing Toronto and Tampa versus New Jersey, and you have the Islanders, Tampa, and New Jersey all sort of within point of each other, which is basically going to stay the same based on the results tonight. Islanders got their 2 points, Tampa got their 2 points, and New Jersey gets the one, but tonight was a big game to get 2 points, have the Islanders lose to Toronto. They had one job. And we could have moved up to the first wild card spot in the standings, but I digress. That's not going to happen, and we are going to remain I think it's going to be 1 or 2 points out of a playoff spot as of the loss to Tampa. So, let's go over tonight's game. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about, not only tonight's game, but also some things that I've noticed online regarding the NHL fan base and things like that. But we might get some, we might not. We'll see how it goes. So, let's get into this. So, New Jersey starts off the first period doing actually something they don't do a whole lot, and that's scoring the first goal of the game, which I probably shouldn't sound so not down or not so surprised about, because they never do this. They never get the first goal of the game. Like, almost never. I can guarantee, I can count like on one hand the number of games where they have scored first. And luckily for us, Dawson Mercer opens the scoring on Vasilevsky. Erik Haula makes a really nice drop pass as he enters the zone, puts it behind him, but he does the thing that I actually prefer he does, is he looks behind him before he passes it off. None of this, no worries guys, I'll just pass it behind me and not look. No, instead, he looks behind him, sees Mercer following him in, passes it back, Mercer takes it to the net, gets a shot off, Vasilevsky makes a great save, and Vasilevsky ends up on his stomach. Mercer gets his own rebound and pots it in. It's 1-0, and the icing on the cake for this goal is Ken Danico's reaction to this goal as Mercer gets his own rebound by shooting it off Vasilevsky's rear end. And Ken Danico's response to this goal was, what a goal by Mercer off Vasilevsky, which is just prime content for you. So, the Devils lead. It's 1-0, but of course, we can't have good things in this world because the Lightning decide that they're going to be like, okay, Devils have had their fun. Now we're going to smack them around a little bit. And the Lightning score 3 unanswered goals. They score 1, 2, 3, and the game is now 3-1, including a goal, 2 of which I want to talk about. So, the first goal that the Lightning score is arguably probably the greatest deflection that I have ever seen in my 15 years of watching hockey, okay? The puck is being shot towards the net, and Campus gets his stick on it, and it literally veers in the opposite direction, probably a foot from where Vanecek is standing. There is absolutely no shot in hell that Vanecek is making that save. So, they got the deflection goal. That's the first goal. And you know what? You kind of have to tip your hat and go, you know what? Game recognizes game. It's an absolutely beautiful deflection goal, and Tampa ties it up 1-1. But then Luke Hughes goes, you know what? I actually enjoy having the puck scored on my own net. Luke Hughes gets the puck, and arguably his worst play of his entire career so far, which I know it's only basically this season. He skates from behind the net, comes up with it, and I guess he's trying to make a pass or dump, or if he just loses his footing, and he does the infamous Hughes brother and falls over on the ice, leading to a puck being turned over in their own end on a Tampa stick for a breakaway, and Tampa scores. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people, and let's be actually, I'll wait. I'll wait till the end of the video for that little rant. So, Tampa goes up 2-1, and the third goal is just another one of these absolute snipes from the slot, where, you know, guys, Holla doesn't pick up. Excuse me, it's late. I haven't done one of these in a while. Holla doesn't pick up his own man in the slot, and they just pass it right over to, I want to say it was Braden Point. I could be wrong. And he shoots it like 5 feet from Vasilevsky, and it goes top shelf. It's an utter snipe. Vanecek's not stopping that, respectfully. He's just not. And it's 3-1. But instead of laying down and accepting defeat, what do the Devils do? They do what they have done for the last 2 seasons, is the comeback. They kick it into high gear, and we get 2 goals to tie it up. We go 3-2 and 3-3. I believe those goals were scored by Michael McLeod, who is, I'm going to say it, investigation aside, is arguably one of the best forwards that New Jersey has had the last month and a half. In fact, I am willing to say right now that Michael McLeod has probably had more of an impact on the game in New Jersey the last month and a half than Tyler Toffoli and Jack Hughes. I'm going to say it because I think he's been such a vital piece of this team right now, where your top 2 lines aren't scoring, no problem, let Michael McLeod deal with it. Oh, you got a guy that goes down on your first and second line? No worries, put Michael McLeod on it. Oh, you have a power play and you need some extra muscle? Put Michael McLeod. He gets to the net, he grinds away at pucks, and this guy's got a shot. Okay? Michael McLeod has single-handedly been like, okay, top guys aren't doing anything. Get on my back, boys. I'm going to score for us. And he does. Michael McLeod gets a goal. And speaking of guys who, in my opinion, do not get enough credit, Nathan Bastian scores the tying goal to make it 3-3. Now, I understand the Michael McLeod goal, I understand, gets called back and given to Jesper Bratt, but in my opinion, that goal deserves to be with McLeod because he does like 90% of the work there. Bratt's sort of just standing there, and McLeod's like, please go in, please go in, please go in, and he's like banging on the doorstep. I know it's a Bratt goal. In my opinion, that should have been credited to McLeod because I think he did a lot of the work on that, and I personally think it went off his stick last, but that's my opinion. But Nathan Bastian scores the third goal, and the game is tied 3-3, which is beautiful because New Jersey keeps doing what New Jersey's going to do, which is, okay, if you're going to give me space, if you're going to give me the opportunity to come back, I'm going to take the advantage of it. And the comeback kids do it a lot of the time. We have the most comeback victories of any team in the NHL, not just this year, but also last year. So good on them. They didn't get down on themselves. They buckled in, they strapped in and said, no, we're not giving up. We're going in and we're going to tie the game. And then we go to overtime. And we go to overtime, and the first, I'd say, minute and a half, 2 minutes aren't totally bad. Like, we get a couple of chances, but Vasilevsky really digs in and is like, no, I'm keeping my team in this. And Tampa just eventually is able to score. It's a snipe shot, top corner on Vasilevsky, Vanecek glove side, and Tampa wins it 4-3. So, we get a point, which is great, which is fine, But this is one of those games where we really needed to beat Tampa because they're so close to us in the standings. And being able to get these points against contending teams, division or not division, right, in our own, is important. If you're 1 point off a team in a wild card race and you can get even a point on them, that's great. And when I say point on them, I mean like a point above them in the standings. Because Tampa would have lost, we would have went ahead, we would have been up on them by 1 point. Which, is good. Because the better the standings, the better off we're going to be. So, Tampa beats us 4-3 in overtime. So, I want to have a quick discussion on Vanecek's performance tonight. I have a lot of people who have been... I'm walking into a minefield. I just know it. Okay, let me be perfectly clear, as crystal clear as I possibly can before I start this, okay? Vanecek has played like a dumpster fire this season. 100% agree with you guys. He has not played well. I absolutely want a proper starter goaltender. Even if that means trading Vanecek off the team, right? I'm totally with you guys. We need a proper starting goaltender. He has not played well. He's played like a dumpster fire. It's so much so that Nico Daws has to be pulled from the AHL and make him look bad every time Nico Daws plays because he's had a really good couple of performances. That being said, I want to go over Vanecek's performance tonight. And I understand that I'm going to come off like a Vitek Vanecek simp. I understand that. I'm not trying to. But I think there are a couple of things I've seen sort of online in the Devil space that I sort of take issue with. And I'm going to try to articulate my issue specifically tonight's game, because I've already conceded that Vanecek is not good, that Vanecek has not played well, that Vanecek probably shouldn't be playing right now. But again, I need that to be heard. However, I don't think necessarily Vanecek was the reason we lost tonight. I know. Put this man aside, get him the rope, do what you have to, right? But I don't think he played that badly. I really don't. People are going to say, well, did he or did he not allow 4 goals? And I understand that, but a point I've been trying to make throughout the entirety of the year is that while 4 goals may have gone in on Vanecek, and yes, as the goalie, it is his responsibility to keep the puck out of his net, I do feel like not every goal is created equally. Not every goal is equally goalie fault or defensive fault. Sometimes they're just really good shots, like the 3rd and the 4th goal that Tampa Bay scored, where they're absolute friggin' lasers to the top corner. And you can say, well, Vitek Vanecek probably should have had the glove save. And sure, in a perfect world, he would have had the glove save. And I agree, there are times where Vanecek sometimes will kind of just stand there with his glove and hope to God it hits him. And I agree, and in a world of would'ves, could'ves, and should'ves, he should have those goals. But sometimes these laser beam of shots are incredibly difficult. Even unscreened can be difficult to stop, right? However, I want to draw the attention not to the 3rd and 4th goals, not to the absolute laser snipes that those shots were. I want to bring your attention to the 1st and the 2nd goal. Specifically, the Luke Hughes goal. The Luke Hughes turnover that leads to a goal. Now, Luke absolutely is at fault 100% on that goal. Many people are saying, well, Luke turns it over, and if you want to be a starting goaltender in the NHL, you need to come with those big clutch saves at the right time to keep your team in it. And I 100% agree with you. But please someone find me the goalie that's going to make that save on that shot every single time. You're just not going to. You can pull Hellebuck, you can pull Hill, you can pull Saros, you can pull whatever goalie you want. Even Brodeur in his prime sometimes does not make that save. And again, it's not to say that Vanecek should have had it, because it's on screen. He probably should have. But if Luke Hughes does not do an absolute dumpster fire turnover in his own end under no pressure, I don't believe that means that Vanecek is at fault. I don't. I know this is it's gonna set some people off, but I genuinely think this. I don't think that every single goal that goalies allow is necessarily their fault. Are they responsible for keeping the puck out of their net? Yeah, it's in the job description. But it feels like to me, especially nowadays, that unless goalies allow less than one goal a game, like they're playing like crud. And I understand some people might not like what I'm saying, or might not agree with it, and that's fine. And if you do disagree with it, I welcome people to, respond politely, of course. I don't need, 100 people in my comments screaming about what a horrible, whatever I am, or taking shots at other, parts of me. But, I don't know. I don't think that Vanecek is the reason we lost tonight's game. I think it's a matter of goaltending and defensive errors, especially defensive errors like tonight. The third goal, Haula doesn't pick up his guy, and Tampa Bay has all the time in the world to just set up point, to just rip that 5 feet from Vanecek. Luke Hughes makes a terrible turnover. That one goes in. The overtime goal, same thing, is sniped right in front of Vanecek. And I'm not trying to defend Vanecek's play as a whole, because his play has been completely absent this year. And I've already said this. I just don't think every single goal is his fault, and I don't even think that every single goal is necessarily his responsibility for why it ended up in the back of the net. That's all I'm going to say. I think that's going to be it for me today. If you did manage to sit through my complaining, my whining, my screaming, my yelling, my whatever it is, for whatever reason you guys are still watching this, I believe we are sitting at 58 subscribers. I understand that it sounds super cringy, people ask this, but hey, if you love hockey, if you love the NHL, if you love the Devils, come subscribe. I'm trying to make videos for each and every one of the Devils games. Obviously, I don't get to every single one, but I do try to get to the ones that I am able to actually sit down and watch live and make these videos for you guys to enjoy, for me to scream, for me to carry on for my love of the Devils. So if you're watching this and you enjoy these, please subscribe. It would brighten up my cold, dark soul. The cold, dark void that is where my heart is supposed to be. All right? So, that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you guys had a good holidays. If you guys celebrate, if you don't, great. I hope you guys had a good New Year's. If you did anything fun, great. Wonderful. That's going to be it for me, guys. And I'm going to talk to you guys in the next one. Adios.